A woman is found stabbed to death inside her home in the east part of our valley. We're live with details.
Also, murder mystery. Still a lot of questions about the local man found dead inside a trunk of a car. You'll hear from his family now on a desperate search for answers. Dozens of people are left without a home tonight after a fire tears through their apartment complex. Well, now, investigators are saying this was no accident. And gamers' paradise. Could Southern Nevada soon be able to bet on video games? How close we are to making what some call a childhood dream a reality.
News 3 starts right now.
All right, we begin tonight with breaking news that we've been following. Police are investigating a murder after a woman is found dead inside her home. It's right near Nellis and Russell, and she was found by a family member. We thank you for joining us. I'm Reed Cowan.
And I'm Marie Mortera. News 3's John Trainer is live from the scene with the very latest surrounding this tragedy.
Yeah, we're just getting the details of what is a very violent and brutal murder here. A 50-year-old woman, or a woman in her 50s rather, found by a family member inside, was stabbed to death. It could have been as early as yesterday. The body, though, discovered this afternoon when a family member simply went over to say hello. It may have been linked to domestic violence. There is some thought here that there was a history of domestic violence with this woman. Neighbors saw somebody leaving. That is a person of interest right now. They're not releasing the name quite yet. But again, this is the 64th homicide of this young year. Likely be another few hours before we finally get some answers. John Trainer, News 3. Yes?
John, thank you.
I am just so devastated. I can't even talk right now. I don't even want to talk to anybody. I can't believe this. I want answers.
A devastated family is at a loss for words over why their loved one was found dead inside the trunk of a car.
Yeah, we're learning more about the 38-year-old victim in this gruesome murder that's left a Southern Highlands neighborhood searching for answers, and police as well. News 3's Antonio Cotsalon has a closer look.
The family of the murder victim say they have no idea why anyone would kill their loved one. Relatives say it was a nightmare coming to the coroner's office to make a positive identification. 38-year-old Chris Alifaituli was the man found dead in a car trunk on Wednesday. The Clark County coroner ruled Alifaituli died of blunt force trauma to the head. Neighbors at this Southern Highlands neighborhood started smelling a foul odor from this car. Soon after, police made the discovery of a decomposing body.
I am just so devastated. I can't even talk right now. I don't even want to talk to anybody. I can't believe this. I want answers.
Kiki Vilyamu tells us she never imagined this happening to her cousin. Vilyamu spoke by phone from Long Beach, California. She says Chris was adored by his family.
He was a very good person. He was so good. He was very generous, loving, kind. I don't know why this would happen.
Clark County Detention Center records show Alifaituli spent time in jail this year for writing fake checks. He also spent another stint in 2015 for possessing a controlled substance. Vilyamu stresses the record doesn't justify his murder. She says he never associated with criminals.
Not that I know of. No, he was always at home. He never was hanging around with the bad crowd. I don't know.
Family members say they will always hang on to the good memories concerning Chris. On Facebook, one of Alifaituli's closest relatives wrote, "You took a part of me, baby. I love you beyond words. I miss you forever, even when I see you again. Rest easy, my love. My heart has been touched by you. Find your peace, baby." We are told funeral arrangements are still pending. Family members say they are waiting on many relatives to come in from California. Reporting outside the Clark County Coroner's Office, Antonio Castellan, News 3.
The suspect who allegedly waved an unloaded gun at tourists on the Las Vegas Strip has been ruled competent enough to stand trial. 21-year-old Khalil Black faces charges of assault with a deadly weapon, resisting arrest, and possession of stolen property for the January incident in front of the Bellagio fountains. Family members have testified that Black had a history of mental illness and suspected he was attempting suicide by cop. During the confrontation, a bullet grazed a 4-year-old boy's leg. Black is scheduled to be back in court May 20th.
2 sheriff's deputies in Southern California found themselves running for cover after a man opened fire on them. It's caught on tape. Deputies were responding to a call of a distraught man inside his Orange County's home garage when they all of a sudden came under fire. The gunman blew out the back window of one patrol car, but nobody got hurt. The officers did not return fire because they couldn't get a clear view of the man. The incident ended when the man put his automatic rifle down and then exited the garage with his hands up. He was taken into custody without any further trouble.
Back here at home, dozens of people are left without a home after a fire tears through a local apartment complex.
Yeah, and investigators are now calling this a case of arson, and they say that the families woke up in a panic as those flames quickly spread through their homes. News 3's Denise Roche has more on this investigation.
The charge right now is first-degree arson. It'll be up to the district attorney's office whether to add any additional charges. But for now, we know that 61-year-old Sherlina Rutherford is here at the Clark County Detention Center behind bars while many of her neighbors try to pick up the pieces.
And I heard my husband screaming, "Fire, get up, get out."
Susan Probert says it happened in seconds.
And the whole side of us was just lit up, ablaze.
Waking up Friday morning with no time to think, just react as her apartment was consumed by fire and heavy smoke.
And right next to my bed, the roof collapsed.
And now investigators are saying this was no accident. A tenant in a nearby unit charged with arson. 3 units gutted, 5 others uninhabitable due to extensive water, smoke, and heat damage.
The fire was intense enough that we were a little afraid that fire would spread to other buildings.
Tim Szymanski with Las Vegas Fire.
There was a dispute going on in the apartment, and apparently this subject started some items on fire inside the apartment.
According to volunteers with the American Red Cross, as many as 45 people are now receiving their help. Food, shelter, clothing, the basics to get back on their feet.
After they get our immediate assistance, we'll have our caseworkers come in contact with them. Within the next 48 to 72 hours, we'll make sure that they're still on the road to recovery and there's nothing else we missed. Because after disaster, you don't exactly know what you're missing.
The one with the big hole collapsed, that's my bedroom.
But for Susan, the answer is simple. She says everything is gone. And while she and her husband do have renter's insurance, the question, what now, still has not been answered.
To stand back and look at that is just, it's frightening. I'm shaking. I don't know what to, I'm kind of like in shock.
And we're told one person did suffer a minor fracture and a burn. That person is expected to be okay. Damage from this fire is listed at $500 million. Denise Roche, News 3.
Thanks, Denise. We hope everybody gets the help they need this weekend. Well, a year after a deadly Amtrak train derailment in Philadelphia, loved ones and city leaders gathered to honor victims and those responding to the tragedy. There they are, under Old Glory, city leaders placing wreaths to remember the 8 people who lost their lives. That vigil was held not far from the site of the crash. 200 others were hurt when Amtrak 188 derailed. Those living in the neighborhood say even a year later, the memories of that day stay with them.
When I'm planting my flowers in the yard, I hear the train horn go by and I just stop and I pray.
It's still rough. It's still rough because it's been with me since.
Well, after an extensive investigation, federal officials are set to meet next week to detail the probable cause of that massive train derailment.
The TSA says problems with the baggage screening system that grounded thousands of bags at Phoenix Sky Harbor have now been fixed. TSA officials say more than 3,000 passenger bags missed flights yesterday because the system used to screen checked bags for explosives crashed. Bags had to be removed from the airport and gathered in a parking lot. They were then loaded onto trucks bound for other airports, including McCarran, to be screened and then flown to their destinations. Passengers were told to carry on what they could with no guarantees their bags would be there when they landed.
It's frustrating. It's very frustrating knowing that, you took the time to pack everything and you don't know that your bags are going to make it there. And people in front of us were actually going to a wedding and they don't know if their stuff's going to be there.
This comes as the TSA faces some harsh criticism from Congress. The agency is under fire for poor training, high turnover rates, mismanagement, and long lines.
Well, the future of gambling in the state of Nevada could mean embracing professional video games.
You may never thought this could actually happen, but today gaming leaders want to cash in on professional video game tournaments. News 3's Sergio Avila explains.
It has to be your life. It has to consume your life if you want to be an esports professional.
Jonathan Wendell's a professional video game player who's made a career out of consoles and controllers.
The terrorist side is definitely in some trouble here.
He's better known for his username, Fatality. He was just one of many speakers at a meeting designed to explore if Nevada should start taking bets on video game tournaments. Here's Governor Brian Sandoval.
Just because that's not something that I do personally, there's a very large population of people out there that like to participate, like to watch. watch and maybe someday want to bet on that.
Last year alone, the industry is estimated to have generated nearly $750 million in revenue worldwide, and gaming leaders want in.
I've never made it a secret. I'm a gamer.
Gaming Commission Chairman Tony Alamo says he's on board.
We have a group of doctors here in Las Vegas that meet on the weekends late night when our wives and kids go to bed, and we go out there and we fight aliens and predators.
In Las Vegas, it's typically about how things fit on the casino floor. Seth Shore is CEO of the Downtown Grand, a resort that's now hosting weekly video game tournaments.
About 25% of the people who come to our contest on a Friday or Saturday night end up in the live table games pit or casino bar.
The challenge for regulators is making sure cheaters are kept at bay to protect the integrity of the events, something Fatality says can happen all too easily with the right tools. While he spoke at a meeting he never imagined a pro gamer would be invited to.
I think it just shows that esports is getting to the level of traditional sports.
So when might you be able to bet on a video game tournament? Well, Seth Shore with the Downtown Grand says its sportsbook operators have already applied to do this on upcoming tournaments. They feel the regulations are already in place in Nevada to make it happen. It's just the thing about flipping the switch. If gaming regulators agree, that means it could happen sooner rather than later. Sergio Avila, News 3.
Sergio, thank you. Miracle Recoveries, a group of trauma survivors, show us all what bravery really is, as today they got honored for their remarkable strength and resilience.
We're going to bring you their incredible stories and the tearful reunion with those who helped save their lives.
Bracing for impact, a train driver being praised for what he did just moments before a crash on the tracks. How his quick thinking may have actually saved some lives.
And as you can see, many neighborhoods made it into the 90s today, 100 degrees for sunrise. We're going to see similar weather continue for tomorrow, but weather like this isn't going to last long. We're tracking the latest storm. I'll let you know how windy it's going to get and if we can expect some rain. Those answers next.